Okay, meeting call to order. Roll call.
Mr. Alborough. Ms. Calderon. Here. Mr. DeCosta.
Present.
Ms. Coffinger.
Here.
Mr. Lombardi.
Here.
Mr. Luna.
Here.
Vice President Dunn.
Here.
President Gomez.
Here. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Board statements. In accordance with the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law, the New Milford Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Borough Hall in the New Milford Public Library. Notices have been sent to the record in the Twin Borough News. The board announces that under its long-standing policy, it will not discuss in public any comments made by members of the public concerning individual staff members. At this time, please be advised that all cell phones and electronic devices are to be turned off. Meetings of the board are open to the public, and all members of the community should feel free to participate. Before coming to the board, the chain of command should be followed. There are two portions of the meeting reserved for comments from the public. The first at the beginning of the meeting for agenda items only, and the second at the end of the meeting for other items. Issues raised by the public may or may not be responded to by the board, but all comments will be considered. The board requests that all members of the board public be mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Due to confidentiality and legal rights afforded by the state of New Jersey, members of the public are asked to not speak negatively or in a derogatory manner about any employee of the board or any student. Okay, we're going to start off with our new board member oath of office.
Why don't you come up here?
Yeah.
Speak now, if ever hold your peace. You're still running. You're still running.
Long side.
Okay.
But in case you have.
Okay.
Yeah. With that now?
Yeah, because it's so dark over there.
Oh.
Look here.
Okay. Now I can see.
You could, yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I, Kendra Moore, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
I, Kendra Moore, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and this state under the authority of the people, so help me God.
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and go to the governments established in the United States and this state under the authority of the people, so help me God.
I, Kendra Moore, do solemnly swear that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of member of Board of Education, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all of the duties of that office according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
I, Kendra Moore, do solemnly swear that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of the member of the Board of Education, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all of the duties of the office according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Furthermore, I affirm and declare that I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19-4-1, so help me God.
Furthermore, I affirm and declare that I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Sure. Okay.
Right there, and then you get the circles there on the top is the word, and then behind it is a tentative word.
Can we just get my...
Yeah, of course.
You should notice that.
Sometimes two get stuck. I want to make sure you go in.
Okay. Well, welcome to the board.
Thank you.
And now we have a presentation from Mrs. Bernstein.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Julie Bernstein, and I'm a music teacher here in Milford. I'm teaching over 40 years. 2017, so I had 6 trips already, and I'm seeking approval, your approval for a trip to Japan in 2027. I recently took students to Central Europe, to Germany, Switzerland, Austria. We went to Japan in 2023. Went to, in 2024, again to Central Europe, 2025, Portugal and Spain. The reason that I want to return to Japan is very recently new added trip. Trip where students will be immersed in a hands-on opportunity to attend many different workshops, not to get into cultural, not to visit shrines and temples all the time, but to be immersed into more modern industry, automobiles industry, and culinary arts industry. I always go on a trip with ES Education Company. I trust them. They are on the market over 60 years. They have their offices in over 115 countries, and one is in Tokyo. They always prioritize students' learning activities and students' learning needs, and they're always there for me whether there's any emergencies or any situations like unforeseen situations. Again, their safety first. Their safety and response team is available 24/7. I can call them from airport, I can call them from our destination, I can call them in the middle of the night. They're always responsive. They are a national wide presence, as I said, over 115 countries, including offices in Tokyo. They require mandatory leads, group leaders, safety training before, and they require background check for any adult that who's going on a trip, including myself. They are the best in the industry, that I said. I do trust them. I've seen many different obstacles throughout those 6 trips, and they're always very responsive, very professional, and very up to the point. To say the least, during the COVID, when they had many groups like abroad, they were able to bring them back within 2 days. So they are really up to the point. They have a Peace and Mind program where if anything happens, God forbid, they're bringing us safely, either they're relocating us or they're bringing us back home, or they're as with the COVID, we canceled the trip, but we were able to extend that what we paid and to settle that amount of money to a different trip after we were open to travel. They also provided general liability coverage. All group leaders are covered, schools, districts are covered. They helped group leaders, schools, and districts to cover on-tour accidents. Again, this is, I will tell you a little bit about that in a second. They provide legal defense and covers associated legal fees and help with any injuries what might happen on the trip. They have global travel protection plan, which covers either program cancellation or relocation or changing in the tour, changing the dates, program interruptions, if any can occur, illness or accidents, baggage, if anything happens to our luggage, they're helping flight delays or flights rebooking and emergency evacuation. The differences, they provided also Global Travel Protection Plan Plus, which the differences are covered both, but with the Protection Plus plan, you can cancel trip 24 hours before the trip, and you're going to get all money back, excluding the deposit and the price for the travel protection plan. They gave us our tour director who leads us throughout he or she will meet us at the airport and will say goodbye when we go through the customs bag. They're very expertly trained guides. They're helping us navigate from places where are new to us. They're helping with meals, hotel check-ins. They're also, many of them are either previously teachers or current teachers who are teaching during the school year or working with the students or with the young population during the school year. And they just love traveling, they just love showing countries to travelers. Especially in Japan, because the country was opened recently. Japanese tour directors are always welcome and always want to show the best of their country to us. And I'm talking from the experiencing that. So modern Japan cars and cuisine, June 2027. I know I'm talking like far apart, and I will tell you why. But we're going to experience traditional innovation, how tradition and innovation coexist in the modern Japan. We're going to go to 3 different regions. I like it because we can spend more time in each place versus just hopping and going on and off the bus. We're going to Tokyo, Nagoya, and Kansai regions. This is just a snapshot of what the students will be attending. It's a chopsticks making workshop, tea ceremony. We're gonna go to Toyota Museum and we're gonna get the walking tour in Nagoya. We're gonna go to here. This is Suzuki Formula One Circus and amusement park, and go to Osaka Castle. Then where we're gonna participate in a cooking class. So it's more hands-on versus just seeing and visiting places. I'm learning from like more lecturing stuff. What's included on the trip is a full-time tour director, all transportation, all breakfast and dinners, overnight staying in hotels. Well, they're added private bathrooms because some countries are having some different accommodations. They're private, extended sightseeing tours, tickets to all attractions, all places where we're going to go. Students can earn academic credit, either half credit for the high school course or 3 credit college course, humanity college course. They just need to apply to certain places where I can direct them. We're gonna experiential learning, hands-on workshops, travel supports and resources, and 24 emergency assistance and emergency help for me as a tour leader. What is not included is just a little bit. So the passport or visas, depending if these are students like citizens or non. Baggage fees, usually tell them if you wanna pay for your luggage, pack light, pack lighter than light. And this is also experience. Tips, this is traveling industry will always tipping extras to van drivers, local guides, and tour directors, and snack and some meals during the day, because sometimes they're getting, most of the time, they're getting hungry and they want to try local cuisines. So this is not including. Yes. The dates for the trip are, as usual, it's a window that EF asking us to allocate. So we can travel as early as June 20th, and I hope school will be over and high school graduation will be over. This is changeable, like because we're talking about not the current summer, but in the summer. So whenever the calendar will be issued, the dates will be changed. The window that they allocate June 23, July 7th, but we can come back as late as July 5th. So I personally allocate those days and I add them for that window because I know that many adults want to travel, and to travel within or around the holiday, it's much easier for them to take days off from work or to get some extra days here and there. And for students, many students work during the summer, so this window between like end of the school day and the 4th of July is also kind of like easy for them to take off. Why am I doing it 2 years in advance? The trip is expensive and the traveling becomes more and more expensive with the fuel cost and flight cost. So if I will break down the full price into, let's say, 19 months, bi-weekly payment or bi-monthly payment will be more affordable for families than just asking them to double it if I will introduce this to in a year or even during the summer. So to make it more affordable for Milford families, I think it's better to introduce the tree 2 years in advance versus 1 year. And with the Global Protection Plan, they can cancel without anything within 7 days from the introduction. This is the window. So within the week, they can cancel without any payment. So everything will be refundable. After that, they will have a choice to take a Global Protection Plan Plus or just think. Even they can cancel even during the first year. A year prior to the trip, they can cancel just losing $95 of the deposit. So that's roughly any like the information that I have. Any questions?
What are the grades that will be going? Like what's the?
I open it for grades 7 to 12. With experience, yes, for middle schoolers, it might be something challenging, but with an experience, I can say that the 10th graders can travel.
Sure.
I have 3 questions. Why is the difference in the full price for an adult and why is there a $600 difference?
This is not question to me, this is question to EF. Because, I mean, this is the price that they gave me.
Okay, but can you follow up on that? Maybe
Yes.
give me an answer, because I just don't,
Yeah.
like, the airfare should be the same, the hotel should be the same, I'm just trying to find out why there's a
But I
difference.
know that they are taking a double room, they're sharing room with 2, or they're sharing, like, they're having their own room, versus the kids are going to take 3 or 4.
But that might be the answer. Okay.
That's
Another question I had was on one of the screens it mentioned the different things and one of them was attractions and bucket list items. What are the bucket list items?
that's a good question. Can I go back to
Sure.
that?
There you go,
Hold on.
bottom left.
Yeah.
Tickets to bucket list experiences and attractions.
And attractions. So to me, bucket list means like very vague. So this is just the tickets and admission to any attraction or any places because some castles required admission, some places required extra admission. So everything is included into that price.
Okay, so that's what I'm getting at. So like, if let's just say there's 4 different attractions that you want to take them, do you have a list of choices? You can go to this, this, and this, or this and this. Is it one bucket list? You know, do you get to go to one place from the column on the left and 3 on the column to the right?
No, everything is preset. We will have extras for free time. Okay, this is extras. But for whatever is preset, there is no like you can go here or you can go there. Okay, we all go to the same places. They probably just worded bucket list.
Okay. My last question is, what is your expectation or hope for the amount of people that would be going on this trip? Is it no more than X, or is it between 7 and 10? Is it, you know, between 7 and 70? Like, what is the total?
The usual ratio that EF requires with an adult is 6:1. So I can take as minimal as 6, and as maximum, let's say, I feel comfortable taking 15 students.
Okay, so you don't think it would be more than 15 students? But could be a couple more, maybe.
Could be a couple more, couple of less.
But you don't anticipate it being 25?
No.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Sharon?
Who's responsible for getting the students and the adults to the airport back and forth? Is that
I
EF?
asked school bus, and
Okay.
I was
So that'll
lucky
be part
enough
of
to have a school bus, yes.
Okay. Great, thank you.
I know we've talked about this before. What's the ratio of the chaperones?
6:1.
6 to 1. So it's 6 to 1. So if you bring, say you bring 12, like you would
There will
bring a
be
parent
extra
or you need a
It
teacher?
could be parent, it could be teacher.
Does that then increase the price for if
No.
it's a teacher?
If that's the teacher, if I have enough, so no, 6 to 1, it doesn't price. It does not.
Okay.
So the price that stated here doesn't depend on number of the travelers.
Okay, and then, when would you have to book this by?
I would like, if you will approve it, I would like to host a Zoom meeting for as many families as possible and as quickly as possible. So the price that I booked it is up until, I believe, December 30th.
The price is up until December 30?
Yes.
Subject to change by December 30th.
After December 30th, they increase and a little bit.
Oh, you know for
They
sure
do,
they're going.
They do, yes. But this is their policy.
Is that on the agenda for tonight? This
The regular meeting.
for the next one?
So the 6-to-1 ratio, going back to that. So if there's 8, is it 2? Is it more than 6 means 2?
2, yes.
Okay, so whether you have 7 or 12, it has to be at least 2
Yes,
chaperones.
yes.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Superintendent of Schools report, Tina Galasso.
All right, thank you all for being here tonight. A couple of quick items I want to talk about on the work agenda and regular agenda, so you're prepared to vote next week. First up is the approval of the October 2025 HIV report. So in Milford High School, there was one HIV 338 form submitted. One HIV was investigated by the ABS, the anti-bullying specialist, and was unfounded. It did not meet the criteria. DEO, no HIV 338 form submitted. Berkeley, there were none. Gibbs, there was one HIV 338 form submitted. That HIV was investigated, and the ABS said it was a founded HIV, because it met the criteria for HIV. We'll discuss those specifically in the closed session after. I would like you to approve the October suspension report. In New Milford High School, there were 4 students suspended for a total of 8 days. 1 student served 1 day of out-of-school suspension. 1 student served 3 days of out-of-school suspension. 2 students served 2 days of out-of-school suspension. In DEO, there were 2 students suspended for a total of 2 days. 1 student served 1 day of in-school suspension. 1 student served 1 day of out-of-school suspension. Berkeley, 2 students each served 1 day of in-school suspension. In Gibbs, 0 students were suspended. Also under board action, I'd like you to approve the uniform memorandum of agreement, item BA 2526.24. This is something that's done every single year pretty much. The state of New Jersey issues a memorandum of agreement state down, so every single school district and municipality has the same memorandum of agreement. Other states do it differently, so every year I have to meet with the chief. We have to go over it. It's basically how we cooperate together. So for example, I'm going to talk about issues from this year that popped up. There was an HIV where there was a racial epithet used, and technically it's a bias crime, so we run it by the police. That's in the memorandum of agreement. Say, hey, this was said. Sometimes they're like, okay, we're going to call the prosecutor's office. Sometimes they do not. Like if it's, for example, if there was a swastika drawn somewhere in the high school, they'd probably get the prosecutor's office involved. If it's something at the elementary school that a 3rd grader said, you know, they usually do not. So, but it's their opportunity to talk with the school district and say, yes, this is important, or no, it's not, like you handle it. If there's a knife found in the school, we let them know. Sometimes with Child Protective Services, or all the time, we let them know. And they make a decision whether to pursue or not based on the information that they give them. So it's just how we work together, and it just lays that in law. And I met with the chief of police, we went over it. Heather will sign 5 copies, and I have to send 5 executed copies, 5, to the Bergen County prosecutor at the county office, and the Bergen County prosecutor's office signs it and distributes those 5 copies. So he's doing that for everyone in the state, I guess, right, Tony? It's crazy. But everyone's on the same page, so that's what the memorandum of agreement is about. What was not on, there's a couple of items that I'm going to discuss that were not on the original, because I thank my team, because Thursday, Friday we had off, Tuesday we had off, a lot of people worked. on their days off, Warren, I know worked late, Stephanie, Friday, I was still talking to you about things, you know, Geraldine. So some of the things we squeaked on, you know, today, but for the regular agenda, that were not on my board notes, so that's why I wanted to discuss them. One is the approval of the 25-26 School Safety and Security Annual Review Statement of Assurance, which means we have all our school security plans in place. The police know about them, they haven't changed too much. And it's just a statement of assurance that we have them for each school in the district. They are changing, and the police chief is aware of this. And we will get new plans updated hopefully in March. I'd like to just talk about under curriculum or educational program curriculum. Just want to talk about the Japan trip for a quick second. Not all schools offer international trips. It's something that, you know, my first year, you know, we had the whole China thing going on, and I really had to think about it deeply about, is this a great opportunity for kids? And I do believe it is, and it's optional. So if parents and kids want to go on the trip, and we have a teacher who wants to take them, it's optional. They can go. If they can afford it, they go. If they don't want to go, they don't have to go. But it's something that we can say in our open houses. It's something that we can say to kids, like, listen, we get, you know, we offer trips. You stay in district, you have an opportunity to go to China, Japan, Europe. So I only see it as a good thing, as long as it's done right. Why Ms. Berenstein is doing it so early, number one, because of the price, but also because of the new policy, right? We have that in play now, so it was explained to her, and she's doing it well over a year in advance, so it can be approved and she can start, you know, the money thing. But she also has to have the parent meeting, and she has to follow through on a couple of things in the policy, like with that parent meeting, you know, refund things, and if it goes up to a level 3, which Japan has been a 1 forever in that travel advisory, which you might have seen on the board notes. So I'm not too concerned about Japan's safety. It's a pretty safe place. Under personnel, I just want to explain, Ms. Sullivan is going to be the 504 officer the entire year. Originally, she was only half the year because Ms. Perna was going to come back, but she's extended her leave. So now we've extended Ms. Sullivan to be the Section 504 officer for the district for the entire year. We have a bus aide that's going to be added to the next regular agenda. It's not on here. She just gets paid $18 an hour, but we're always looking for bus aides. So if you know a competent person that wants to be a bus aide, it's a great gig. In the morning, they ride the bus. In the afternoon, they ride the bus. Their middle of the day is free. We can even hook them up with a lunch aid job if they want, and they can do all 3, and it's great. Please let us know. I'm just advertising that to the audience, for everybody. Also for next meeting, we're going to have a replacement instructional assistant. There's one instructional assistant that has resigned, and we're going to replace her. She's going to be on the next agenda. And also, we added Mr. Sullivan, who had previously resigned. He's our VCBA district. It is a loss for the district. He has extended his resignation to December 31st. And so he can stay on longer, wrap up some loose ends. And we have advertised for BCBA. They're hard to find, but I believe Mr. Sullivan is going to help us out in the interim, even after he resigns, as he goes into his professional career, perhaps to help us out. Okay, JAG, athletic training contract. That is just, this is under finance. Approval of the JAG athletic training contract, 0.98. That's just in case of emergency. If our trainer isn't available, if Richard Torrey isn't available, and we need a trainer for the winter season or spring season, we have them available. Approval of the special education sending tuition contract to High Point School, Bergen County. The only adjustment is in the aid amount of $32,265. The child is still currently going there, but we had to add para because of the program. Are you going to talk about the joint transportation?
I can, yeah.
Oh, I'll do it. I think it's brilliant.
Okay.
So Stephanie's pretty smart. So we have a student that has been transported through Region 5 that is no longer going to be transported. So we are going to add them to our route. Correct, Stephanie? I'm saying that correctly? So we are now going to get paid to bus that person. And they're right in Riverdale, River Edge.
Yeah.
So it's really at no additional cost to us, but we're going to gain probably about 8,000 bucks. So I'll take it. If we can continue that, that's wonderful, because we are lucky enough. It's fortunate and unfortunate, because we have a fleet of buses. I think we have like 8 buses now, which is great, because we bus all our students, but it is a high cost to maintain a fleet of buses. But so we can pick up money, we can. Under athletics and co-curricular, approval for Ms. Totero, who's also an instructional aide for us for winter wrestling. This will be at the middle school. We have a budding population of young ladies who's interested in middle school wrestling. It's a great thing, but we have to prepare for it. So Mrs. Totero knows wrestling, so she's going to help them out, so they have a female present. And we are also anticipating the future when these young ladies come up to the high school. Wrestling is now women's wrestling is now an NJSA sanctioned sport, so they cannot just join with the boys. So we have to either start our own girls wrestling team, or we have to co-op. Most districts are co-oping because they don't have the numbers to sustain a full program. So that is already on our athletic director's radar, and we are making plans 3 years down the road. That is it for me. Do you have any questions?
I just have one, just about the girls wrestling. So I remember seeing something not too long ago that said it's like the fastest growing sport in high school, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like
that and girls flag football. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And both. So girls flag football, we know we have one that's a club right now. NJSA keeps saying they're going to make it a sanctioned sport. When that happens, it's going to change the whole landscape, because they cannot do 2 sports. All our girls pretty much do 2 sports in the spring. That would take that away unless we co-op. But girls wrestling is growing, and that's why they have their own teams and they co-op. I think Mr. Riccadelli already has an idea of who he would co-op with, should those girls come up and want wrestling. But yeah, that's growing, and there's great scholarships. If you'd like to, have your daughter wrestle, there's a lot of scholarship money in colleges for female wrestlers. Because of Title IX, they have to equal it out, so there's ample scholarships.
Just to add to that, at the rec level, the girls' participation has exploded over the last few years. So I suspect at some point might have, enough numbers at the high school level to actually have.
It's possible. It's possible, because once they started sanctioning, just girls wrestling, I mean, think about it. When you get to high school and you're a girl wrestling a boy, sometimes, for some, they can be awkward. And so now that it kind of dissuaded girls from participating, but now that they have their own team, they're all together, they're wrestling other girls, I think that's a big reason why it has exploded.
One more last thing. We host a novice tournament. This will be the 2nd year, and New Milford's squad for girls rivals some of the bigger schools that actually come participate. So I think it's got a bright future.
That's great.
Good. Any other questions? All right, that is my report. Thank you.
Okay, Assistant Superintendent report, Lauren Doxta.
Hi, good evening, everyone. A few updates to share with you. Field testing is now in place for NJSLA and NJGPA Adaptive. So we've made the transition from Pearson Access Next to the new platform, which is Tide. That is the platform that we'll be testing on come this spring. However, as previously shared, we are engaged in field testing to test out the question stems and validity, and really just to get everybody acclimated to the new platform. So today we wrapped up day 2 of testing, day 2 of 3 days. There will be makeups provided. Most of the issues that we've experienced thus far have to do with connectivity. I think because so many districts are testing this week, it's the last week of the window, of the very short window. Having everybody log in at 8 o'clock in the morning at the same time was a little glitchy, but we worked through it. Thank you to everyone involved in helping support that seamless transition for us. A reminder for parents, there's no scores or reports. So it's just kids experiencing the questions, testing it out, teachers getting acclimated with the platform, and we should be well prepared for spring testing. An update on the universal literacy screening. That was a law that I had shared, was put in place where we had to benchmark the kids. We were already benchmarking our kids, but now one of the layers added on was sharing the results of the benchmarks with our parents. So those score reports were delivered electronically via Parent Square. It seemed pretty seamless. The final step was sharing the performance data and uploading that to the NJDOE, the Department of Education, and that has been done, so we are compliant in that area, and we'll do it again for the next round of benchmarking following our winter administration in January.
I think Lauren's being modest in the amount of work that went into it. Anytime there's a first-year implementation from the state, it's always rocky, and you got to feel your way through. And I know Lauren put in a lot of man hours or woman hours, on this. And I could tell when Lauren starts getting stressed, and she was stressed because it was a lot. So
A lot of data, yeah.
There was a lot of data and a new platform and a new reporting thing. So
They just decided to change everything at the same time. I think we're all feeling that, but thank you. Just a quick note about the ESE, the submission of the ESEA application, which is the grant application for all of our title funding, including Title I, Title II, Title III, Title III Immigrant, and Title IV. There were some things on the agenda. We pulled some things from the agenda, and I just wanted to give a little bit of context as to why the delay. For last school year, we received the allocation on June 17th of 2024. So that's typical for when we receive the allocation that will be afforded, and the grant writing happens in end of June, July, and we're really well prepared to start the new school year with our plans in place. This year, because they also changed the grant management software, there was a delay, and we didn't get our allocation until August 12th, 13th. So the grant writing and that process coincided with the opening of school and is still ongoing. At the federal level, things are a little bit unknown and being looked at a little bit differently. So we're working through the evolving plans and hope to receive an update and get everything rolling in the near future. As soon as we have an update, I'll share that with you. Happy to share that the curriculum is now live on the website. So if you go on to our website and navigate to departments, and then curriculum and instruction, there's a tab for curriculum, and you can access our Google Drive, view only, but you can see all of our courses that include the standards that we hit, the New Jersey Student Learning Standards, as well as pacing, and what the course looks like over the course of a year or semester. Next week, just a reminder, at our regular meeting on Tuesday night, we're going to have Mr. Manny Pelli join us. He's going to give us an overview of semester assessments and what that plan and rollout looks like, and some of the work that they've been doing behind the scenes. And I think that concludes my report for tonight. Any questions?
Thank you. Business Administrator Report, Stephanie Butcher.
Good evening. Just some updates that are on the agenda that were added late that I want you all to know about. It's F2526.99 and .100. That is for the work that is being done in the high school cafeteria and senior lounge. These are change orders from the original contract that we received. The first amount that's listed is for the exterior painting. It used to be like a tannish color, and now it's green. If you're looking at the building from the field, right above the windows, it's right underneath the sawtooth roof. So that is to do that side, and then it's matching on the other side. The other side, you can't, it's not as visible, but to do one side and not do the other is silly, so to do both. So that's what the first change order is. And then the second one is, when they originally came out and quoted the windows, they're like sort of support beam looking things in between the windows, and when they actually went to pull them out, they're not. And so there was a change order, because it had to protect the structural integrity of the windows, because there wasn't actually anything there. And so these are both sort of have-to-dos to make the project complete. So that's why we're seeking approval for those on the agenda. Mr. Galasso already spoke about the joint transportation agreement. We already have, and what that's going to do is we have existing students that go to school all day. It's a receiving student that we're going to be transporting, and so now that student will just be riding the bus with his classmates. So that's what that change is. And then in terms of food services, every September, the cafeteria typically runs a little bit of a deficit. And so this year, we did run another deficit in September. And we always rebound in October, September for a variety of reasons. You're buying all the commodities, you have the initial payroll and the setup of the cafeteria, and there's just not as many service days that you're servicing students to make up sort of the money on the loss. But what we did this year that's been different in previous years was we immediately pivoted because our sales at the elementary level were lower than, I took a historical, I looked at the past 5 years, and we're lower, and so we introduced snacks options at the elementary level. So this is the first year, and they've always had snack options, but before it was parent pre-selected, and they were sort of pre-ordering their meals for the month, and now the students are actually going through the line. So now, along with that, we've introduced purchasing snacks, and then they have cookies. They had cookies at the end of September. Now we've brought chips, Rice Krispie treats, ice creams, all the fan favorites.
It will increase our income.
So, and it's been going well. You can see sort of the sales. I don't believe there was any communication sent out from the principal, so I think the students are spreading it word of mouth and really begging their parents for a few extra dollars to go through the line. And then we've been doing sort of having different options. The food service provider is Pontonian, and the people who run the company don't like carnival food, but at the upper level in the high school, the kids like carnival food. And that term makes me laugh a little bit because I never heard of it. Like a corn dog, or today they had churros. And so students are loving it. So we're sort of exploring different options on what we can do. November is another sort of hard service month, but we're on it. So that's for the cafeteria, and then in terms of transportation, the DRTRS is going to be submitted. That's due at the end of this week. And then the odd sum is out there. That's due in the beginning of December, and the auditors, I haven't seen them yet, so I'll call them, see what's going on, but that information will be forthcoming, and as soon as I have an update, I will share it. And that concludes my report.
Any questions for Stephanie? Joe?
I'm going to tread lightly here because I'm not sure if you can really expand on this or not, but the last one, 26, with the student that we're sending out, the change.
Yeah.
So, stop me if I'm not allowed to say something, but Pete's board notes, he mentioned about an increase in tuition based upon IEP. So this was something that we previously had approved. The difference is the cost of the IEP, the power for the IEP, right? So I wanted to bring that up because I think like the public should also understand this and the financial constraints we have and the challenges. So we didn't, when we approved this, think or anticipate that this was going to cost us an extra $32,000. but I'm okay still, right, what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, I think these are the challenges that we face when an IEP changes out of nowhere. It just becomes an additional expense to the district and the taxpayers. And so I don't know if you can expand on this, but what, if you can, in this particular instance, the IEP change, if you can speak to that, what was the difference that made it necessary for a para to be added to this contract?
So, I can answer that. This particular student was in district, many years ago. The student has been out of district at a different placement. And that placement at the end of last year said that we no longer can educate that student. And so they transitioned to this new school during ESY, and the student wasn't sort of able to make the academic advancements absent a para. And so in order for this student to remain at this school, the school reached out to our case manager and said that they need a para in order to be successful. And so far, it's been working. And so we really, even when the students remain in district and there's sort of comes to the level of having a para, it sort of every intervention has been in place before it gets to that point. But when it happens, and it costs us a minimum $30,000 when it does happen. But it's always, at the core of it, is for the best interest of the students and the academic success of that child.
Yeah, of course, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, because we can budget, we do all this stuff, but then something like that, hits and it's an additional expense, and you gotta find the money, and I just wanted to bring that up on the record so people understand that we get these curveballs, and you can plan and you can, we can all do our job, but when that happens, you have to find that money, and that, of course, if you have to spend $32,000, we have to spend $32,000 somewhere, that's $32,000 that isn't available to spend on something else that the district needs, right? So,
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, good point.
Does anyone else have any other questions? Okay. Any liaison board committee reports? Any correspondence?
I do have correspondence. I'll report on it at the regular session.
Okay. Okay, agenda items for discussion. Does anyone have any questions or comments regarding board action?
The trip is under board action or is under finance and facilities?
Educational programs and curriculum.
Kendra, just so you know what we do in our work session, we review the agenda prior to coming, but so the agenda for next for regular here, and if we have any questions, we can bring it up here to so anyone can answer that for you. So, any questions or comments regarding educational programs and curriculum?
I do have a question. We use, first of all, the trip sounds phenomenal. I love that they have the opportunity to go and travel. I do have a question about EF tours and our obligation to disclose whatever benefits a staff member might receive for purposes of using that vendor repeatedly. I ask that because there is an ethics, law in New Jersey that talks about rebates or rewards or bonus points or anything like that for travel. We have a policy too, and to the extent that that needs to be disclosed, I think it should be. So I would want to ask the bid or whatever the obligation is. I didn't ask that question because I don't know.
I think it's smart. I think it's very
But
smart.
I'd like to just know that.
Yeah, thank you. I'll let everybody know.
Anyone else have any questions? Andrew?
On 25, 26, 22, where is the National Athletic Directors Conference?
I believe it's in Tampa.
Yes. For sure.
Do you have any other questions or no? Okay. Any questions or comments regarding personnel recommendations? Any regarding finance and facilities? Athletics and co-curriculum? Policy? Okay, any old business? Any new business? Okay, open to the public. I seek a motion outlining the Milford Board of Education bylaw 0167. Each statement made by participant shall be limited to 3 minutes. Need a motion, Tony, seconded by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, I seek a motion to close to the public. Nicole, seconded by Stephanie. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Board member requests for any additional information? Okay, closed session. It is hereby moved that the Board of Education adjourn into executive session in accordance with the provisions of Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 PL, for the purpose of discussion and consideration of matters pertaining to the following subject: personnel matter and student matter. The minutes of the executive session will be made available to the public when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. I seek a motion to go into close. Joe, seconded by Nicole. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?